Hey gang, this is your instructor James coming to you with a video that I promised on Thursday, but you can hear a bit of what I've been dealing with the last few days, somewhere between an allergy and a cold. Um, I have been under the weather. Been checking in on you though, with your introduce yourself posts. Thank you so much for everybody who has been so involved in that. There's still time to get those in. Please respond to two of your classmates to receive full credit on those. This video, uh, better late than never, is going to focus on the big project for the end of the course, and we call it our final capstone project. And you can find information about this in several places on Canvas. I have chosen to go to the assignments tab on the left-hand menu, and I'm going to start with the final capstone, and I'm just going to kind of work my way backwards. I don't want this video to be too long, but I do want you to go ahead and start thinking about this because you're going to be working toward this in pieces. So the capstone project is going to be a collection of six elevator pitches based upon the six acts of God's story outlined in our textbook, The Drama of Scripture. Now, I mentioned this in my welcome video to you. We are not talking about the book of Acts in the New Testament unless we are talking about the fourth act of the drama of Scripture, which is the church. And you're going to be getting more familiar with these terms as we go. So each week you're going to be doing a piece of this project, and it's going to be focusing on Act 1, Act 2, Act 3. Notice the singular. I think there's one where you're doing two acts, but notice this has to do with creation, fall, Israel, Jesus, the church, new creation. And so I want to go ahead and point that out again to help to alleviate any confusion that you may have. Now, elevator pitches, you very rarely do you have a long period of time when you're on an elevator. You're trying to explain something to someone, you're trying to convince somebody of something. And so, what this project is going to be is a collection of six elevator pitches based on these six acts of God's story outlined in the textbook. The kind of the dictionary definition of an elevator pitch is a succinct and persuasive sales pitch. And so, what you're going to be doing uh, is putting together a persuasive and engaging retelling of each act of the biblical story. So, what we're going to ask you to do is compile all of your activities, and I'm going to get to those in just a second, that you've completed throughout the course, put them into one document. But once you've got all of that ready, this is the formatting, and these guidelines should be polished and in this format. This will be due the final day of the class. It should be, each act should have 500 words uh, dedicated to it, resulting in a 3,000 word paper. And your paper should be in Times New Roman font. I know that for many people, Microsoft Word defaults to Arial, but we really do want these academic papers in Times New Roman font, size 12, and double spaced. Your paper should also cite our textbook, The Drama of Scripture, and other course resources using MLA format. That's in-text citations. And actually, if you look in that sentence at number 3, you'll see what it looks like. You'll give me the a page number of where in the book you're quoting from. Okay, so you might just put like drama, comma, page, 28 or whatever. So, and then number 4, papers are going to be graded for college level grammar and syntax. Be sure to utilize a proofreader and or the online writing lab at Point. And I really, really want to stress to you how important that can be for you. Okay. We do have tutoring available to all students, residential and online, but take advantage of the online writing lab. You can submit your stuff to them, and they will send it back with the necessary corrections for you to make. It's a great tool, and I hope you'll take advantage of it as we move through this class. Okay, so that's what the final project is going to look like. Now, if we go back, you will see on the assignments here that you have capstone activities 1, 2, 3, 4. and 5. All right. Now, actually, we don't have your first one will be um, it's 1 and 2. So after that, it's just going to be one act per week. Now, your first one is week 2. So I'm just going to click on this, and then you can take the time to go through the rest of it. And here it is. This is what you're going to start doing. You're going to start building your capstone assignment. Um, pardon me. Yeah, under the weather. So you can see here the 5 questions that we'd like for you to ask, and then there are some follow-up questions. So if you'll follow these overviews for each week, you're going to do very, very well on this capstone. Okay? So if you have any questions about this, don't the 3,000 words and all of that. Don't worry about that. Don't get bogged down in that. If you'll work at this steadily throughout the course, it's not going to be an issue, and you're going to come out with something that's going to be worth hanging on to, maybe using as a teaching tool, maybe sharing with your family, your friends, and I think it'd be a great way for you to share your faith with others. So that's the big assignment. All right. So we're on the cusp of week 1. I will be back on Monday with a week 1 overview video. And again, if you have any questions, james.shelton@point.edu. You can also email me here or message me here on Canvas in the inbox. But just know that I'm praying for you, and I hope you all have a wonderful Sunday. And look forward to seeing you or hearing from you very, very soon. Have a terrific, terrific weekend.